We're live. We're live.
Oh, hey there.
I wish I had a second mic. All right. We're gonna work on the roof today because that's the #1 priority because that's where water is getting in. So, let's see. I already started. There was a cabinet here. Cabinet's out. The cabinet goes up with the roof, and then these roofs are pretty simple. It's literally just this aluminum stucco sheet is what they call it. Old styrofoam, pretty much. It's insulation, quote unquote, and then some wood to give it somewhat of structure. So the idea is to rip all this out, obviously reframe, put new wood because that's where the water was coming in. So put new wood there, and then put actual insulation up there, like the sheets, the 4x8 sheets of insulation, and then some sort of new inside ceiling, which at the moment I'm thinking like wood, just lightweight. Can't remember what it's called at the moment, but yeah. So we're gonna rip all this out. Gotta get the fan out, and that does mean we have to take out all the fabric too, which is unfortunate, but it's not that bad. It's just a bunch of staples. So we'll get after it.
Oh yeah, some ladybugs.
Oh yeah, there's some. Oh, they're live?
They are live.
Nice.
They were hibernating.
Hibernation. I like the idea of it. Oops. It's the privacy screen. I'm gonna try to save it, or the idea of it, because I do like it. There's screws in that? Oh, I see. Every so often.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish the top could go up further. All right. Only took 13 minutes. Okay. So we got it all stripped down now. And I could probably show you somewhat closer, but these sheets just go all the way to the corner, and they were sandwiched by this stuff. So fabric's out. Probably just gonna leave it like this for now. Yeah, I don't know. Might take it out. Should probably clean it at some point, but okay. It's gonna take literally forever to vacuum up all these styrofoam bits.
Yeah.
And we haven't even started taking out that stuff. Update. This is not hiding any mistakes, you guys. Hope you know that. But get up here. There's a big old gash in the roof now from the garage door opener, which is no bueno. So I was gonna reuse that. It was perfectly fine. The other day, I was wondering why the garage door kept saying obstruction detected when I tried to close it. Now I know. So all it means is it's gonna force me to replace that, which is okay. But if you guys don't know, they have like full-on roof replacement kits for campers in general, where it's just one big sheet of, it's actually like a plastic like a stretchy plastic, and it covers the whole thing, so there won't be like this middle seam anymore that is prone to leaking. So it just means it's a little bit more work. I have to rip off these sides, obviously take out the existing metal fan, and yeah, basically down to nothing. We're rebuilding the whole roof, but that means it's going to be absolutely leakless. It's going to be watertight. Okay, we're gonna, thanks to Clark, take the top all the way off and set it hopefully where I'm at. That way we're working down on it instead of like up at it. So we'll see if this works. I think, yeah, but if we're both on the outside and just from right here, like one in the front, one in the back,
Yeah.
I think we can get it. All right, we're back. New hat this time and a haircut, but we're gonna try to tackle the rest of this roof. So we got it off. You saw us put it down there and clean the garage. And we needed it out of the way, so I kind of just propped it up here. But we need to get all this foam off, and it is glued on there. It would take forever to kind of go at it by hand. So I have an idea, and I'm gonna go grab that idea. All right, this is said idea. So I'm thinking I can just kind of like scrape it off. It's gonna make a really big mess, but I'm gonna try. All right, so I'll try to come off because that's a lot of work. But one side done, it's back on the ground, as you can see, because it's way easier than doing it leaned up against that where the panels can just flex. So, still gotta get the fan out, but yeah, it's actually coming up way easier than I was anticipating. So this is great. Just making an absolute huge mess. And there's probably gonna be styrofoam in my garage for the next years. So keep going. Whew. Hold on. Now I just clean up. All right, it's a new day. Got everything, for the most part, cleaned up. I'm not gonna go through the effort of scraping all of this off. So this is fine. That's the aluminum, and next we're gonna work on framing this back out. So I can show you it better now, but there was just a single 1x2 running down the middle where the seam is. And then this frame for the box, or for the fan. So we're gonna add a little bit more structure to this. So yeah, get a sandwich the fan box, and then go about every 16 or 20 inches the rest of the way. And that should give plenty of support for attaching like the upper cabinet again, and then insulation. And that's all I'm worried about. So let's do it. All right, we're back at it. Went and got more wood. I also picked up these framing ties that I'm going to use on anywhere the wood connects to itself, because I didn't like how the nails were going in. It's kind of a hard thing to do. Or maybe I'm just bad at it. That could be it also, but we're going to keep going. All right, this is going to be the new structure in the roof, and I'm going to add probably a couple more pieces back that way for where there's a single upper cabinet in this thing that goes in that corner that raises and lowers with the top. So I'm going to add a couple more pieces that way just to have something to screw into. But other than that, just need to fasten everything, and then insulation and the new ceiling. We have progress. So this is like just super cheap foam insulate, R5, which is, I think the foam that was in there is technically like R1. So this is a 5 times upgrade, which is going to be perfectly fine for this camper. It does not need anything crazy. So yeah, we're going to put that piece in, and then I did get the ceiling. So I decided on these super lightweight, like MDF, kind of pre-designed. This is like a wood finish. So the idea is to match the floors to this or something like that. I don't know, I might paint it, but slap these down and we'll be on our way. All right, just like that, the ceiling is on. A couple of gaps, you can kind of see it, but the fan goes right here. So once I get the hole cut and the shroud on, I expect all that to kind of clean up. But the rest of it looks great. Just liquid nails the whole thing. Foam and everything on the wood should hold. And then remember the fabric from the top that goes up with it sandwiches all this. And then when I flip this whole thing, screws are gonna go from the aluminum top into this center seam. I'll further explain that, but yeah, I like it. So now we're just gonna let this dry. So yeah, that's the ceiling. I'm gonna go ahead and cut out the fan hole and then flip this whole thing over, or at least try. And then that's probably gonna wrap it up for this video, while part 2 of this, of the collective roof, will be redoing the actual roof, so resealing it. Primer, seam tape, and then the resealant itself. So let's cut out this hole. Got the hole cut for the fan. Kind of made a boo-boo, but oh well. And then I realized I forgot to run power for the fan. So I just have this old wiring harness from probably some off-road lights, and I'm gonna run this just to the side where all the rest of the wiring is for now, and that'll just be a lead I'll connect to. But this is the fan, so you can see it. It's a electric, just Amazon fan. It's got controls here, and it comes with a remote as well. And then a smoked lid. It's like $100-something bucks. Cheap, fits the standard fan cutout, so should be good. But I'm gonna run power. Okay, another update. Here's the fan, interior shroud, and the actual fan unit. This just kind of slides on like that and supposed to butt up against the ceiling. So this is a universal kit. So they make it to where it supports a bunch of different thicknesses of roof. But the minimum thickness is 2 inches. So that's the overall from the flange to the bottom of the fan. If you wanted it flush, which in order for this to sit flush up against the ceiling, you can cut this to whatever you need, but you still have to honor the minimum thickness here. So what I'm gonna have to do, because this roof is like 1.25 1.5 inches thick. So this interior would have about 1/4 inch gap that I would have to fill with other remedies. So I think I'm just going to take more of this 1x2 and build kind of like a flashing in here, and that should be plenty for that fan to sit up against, and I think it should look fine, but just means the fan's going to hang down a smidge more, but I'm okay with that. The original fan didn't have all the electronics in it. It was just a vent, so it makes sense that it would take up a little bit more space. Alrighty, we got it flipped over, and I was just working on getting the trim off, and unfortunately, yeah, you guys saw the big gash, so whole new roof. Well, I'll keep this down, but I'll show you what's going to go over top of it. But I'm just working on cleaning up the edges and getting all the old butane tape off. But I'm going to wrap up this video here, so this will be part 1 of the ceiling/roof repair. Second part of this being the actual primer, seam tape, and then the new rubber paint on the roof that'll be going on. And that'll wrap up the roof being off of this thing, and we can put it back on. It'll be fully sealed at that point and watertight, and then we get to start working on the interior. So thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe and like this video. If you have any questions or feedback, again, if you've done this before and you're like, hey, what are you doing on this? Or why are you doing it this way? Please let me know, leave me a comment. I'll answer all of them. So yeah, appreciate you guys. Have a blessed week.